It is said that some dreams awaken long after the dreamer dies. Emmerich's visions slept for decades in Brentano's yellowing notebooks, locked in a drawer, unread, unbelieved. From 1824 to 1850, from 1850 to 1880, nothing happened. The church labeled the writings as private revelations. Scholars ignored them. Only a handful of priests glanced at them from time to time. But in the late 19th century, Europe grew restless. A new desire rose, the rediscovery of ancient pilgrimage routes. And in that era, a little-known French priest opened Brentano's book, Abbé Julien Gouyet, year 1881. In a modest Paris room, reading Emmerich's description of a house in Ephesus, he underlined a sentence: "The mountain rises above ancient Ephesus. The distance to the sea can be seen and felt. The house is hidden on a rocky slope among silver-leafed trees." Gouyet paused and whispered to himself, "If this description is true, the house can be found." This became the first documented search for the House of Mary. He packed the book, took a small map, and boarded a ship toward Constantinople, Istanbul, then toward Izmir. From there, he traveled to the silent ruins of Ephesus. No guides, no maps, only the words of a mystic nun. He climbed the mountain, through rocks, thorns, goat paths, until he reached a small, forgotten stone structure, half ruined, deserted, but astonishingly close to Emmerich's vision. Gouyet believed he had found it. He wrote a detailed report, sent it to Paris, and then silence. No one believed him. Not the church, not the scholars. His discovery was shelved, lost, and so the first seeker was forgotten. But today we know Julien Gouyet was almost certainly the first who found the house. 10 years passed. In Izmir, 2 Lazarist priests opened the same book, Per Poulin and Per Jung. As they read, a strange quiet filled the room. Poulin closed the book and said, "What if these visions are not just visions?" Jung replied, "There is only one way to know." And so began the second and decisive search. In the summer of 1891, the priests traveled to Ephesus with Emmerich's descriptions in hand. What they would find on the mountain would echo around the world. But before climbing, they questioned the local villagers. And a woman from Cyrens said something astonishing. "We have been going there for years. We call it Panaia Kapulu, the gate of the mother." This sentence became the first spark linking Emmerich's visions to Anatolia's living tradition. Now the dusty pages of a vision and the rugged paths of a mountain begin to finally touch. And I asked. A dream pointed to a house. A priest found it, but was unheard. Then came the second seekers. What would they discover? 2 priests walking into a sunlit ruin of Ephesus. It is said there are 2 reasons to climb a mountain: to seek the summit, or to seek a secret that refuses to stay buried. Poulin and Jung came to Mount Nightingale not for height, but for a vision's echo. In the summer heat of 1891, 2 black-clad figures stand among the ruins of Ephesus. Poulin opens the notebook, Emmerich's descriptions, Brentano's handwriting. Jung gazes at the mountain ridge. It begins. Poulin reads aloud. The house stands on a mountain above ancient Ephesus. The sea can be seen from the slope. A spring runs nearby. The house has 2 small rooms. Jung closes the notebook. For a moment, those words feel less like text and more like coordinates. The path narrows. Rocks, thorns, branches. The heat is relentless. Silence deepens until it resembles the silence of a dream. Every few steps they stop. Check the book. Check the landscape. Nod silently. The sea must be visible. It is. There should be olive trees. There are. Water must be close. A faint trickle is heard. It is as if the vision is unfolding onto the earth. Suddenly, Jung freezes eyes fixed on a point between the rocks. There, Poulain looks. A small ruined stone structure emerges from the brush. 1 story, collapsed roof. Wild plants growing through the cracks. But the detail that chills them. The window faces the exact direction Emmerich described. Jung falls to his knees. This could be it. The doorway is broken. They step inside. 1 room, then another. Silent, dust-filled, marked by centuries. Pauline whispers. 2 rooms, 1 large, 1 small. Just as she said, Jung places his hand on the stone. Cold, yet beneath the cold, a faint pulse. Neither speaks for a long time. The mountain holds its breath. Finally, Poulain mutters, "A dream brought us here." The next day, they descend into silence. When they describe the ruin, an old villager laughs softly. "Ah, that stone house? We've gone there for generations. We call it Panaya Kapulu, the gate of the mother." The priests stare. "How do you know it has anything to do with Mary?" Poulain asks. The man shrugs. "We don't know, but our mothers went, and their mothers before them. It is a holy place." In that moment, Emmerich's vision, Brentano's notebooks, Gouyet's forgotten discovery, and Lawrence's old tradition touch. And the priests understand. If this house is truly the one in the vision, the local people have been honoring it long before anyone else. As the priests descended the mountain, they did not leave behind a ruin. They left behind a question. Is this truly a sacred trace or a forgotten stone shelter? They knew the answer would no longer belong to them. The silence of the mountain had to be carried to Rome. Poulain and Jung recorded everything. The measurements, the direction of the rooms, the spring, the path, every detail matching Emmerich's visions. The report traveled. From Mount Nightingale gives Izmir, gives Istanbul, gives Paris, gives Rome. A small mountain house was now heading toward the spiritual capital of Europe. When Rome received the documents, the first reaction was skepticism. One official wrote, "To search mountains guided by a woman's visions. This is not ecclesial geography." But then another document surfaced, Gouyet's 1881 discovery, ignored for a decade, forgotten. Yet now, 2 independent searches 10 years apart led to the same mountain, the same ruin, the same description. The church could no longer dismiss it. One winter night, Poulain sat before 2 objects, Brentano's book and a small stone taken from the ruin. He ran his hand over the stone, turned the pages of the book, and whispered to himself, "This is not merely a discovery. It is a calling." That night he added a line that would echo all the way to the Vatican. The house must be preserved. It appears to be at the center of an ancient living tradition. This line became the spark of an international investigation. Weeks later, reports came from Syrens, Salkok, Kukadask. Women spoke of climbing the mountain on holy days. Men recalled making vows. Some swore they had seen lights there at night. The church realized the house had been holy long before anyone studied it. How could that be? Only one explanation made sense. The vision had touched reality. One voice from Syrens. It is Panaya Kapulu, the Mother's Gate. One voice from Emmerich. They will find the house. One voice from Poulain. 2 rooms. The spring, the slope exactly described. And one voice from Rome. Could this truly be the house of Mary? The question entered the heart of the Vatican. And once a question enters there, it never leaves. The small stone house on the mountain was no longer a ruin. It was the house shown in a vision, the house remembered by villagers, the house documented by priests, the house standing at the gates of Rome. And so episode 2 ends with one truth. The house was found, but not yet recognized. Snow falls on its roof. Silence gathers around it. And a final whisper. Recognition will come in the next chapter.